Imagine this. 40,000 years ago, someone picks up a strange yellow rock from a river. It's heavy, it shines, it doesn't rust like other metals. That person had no idea they were holding something that would start wars, build empires, and survive every money system humans ever made. Jump ahead to ancient Egypt, 3,000 years before Jesus was born. The Egyptians are covering pyramids with gold. They make masks for their kings out of pure gold. They think gold is the skin of the gods. But here's the weird part. They never used gold as money. They traded food instead. Gold was too special for buying stuff. Then, in 564 BC, a place called Lydia made the first gold coins. Finally, people could use gold to buy things, and suddenly, gold spread everywhere. The Greeks wanted it. The Romans fought for it. Explorers destroyed whole civilizations looking for it. Fast forward to today. We have smartphones, we have Apple Pay, we can send money with a tap. So why do the smartest banks in the world still buy tons and tons of gold? Let me show you. Open your banking app right now. You see a number, maybe $1,000, maybe $10,000. That number feels real, but it's not. It's just a promise. Think about it. You tap your phone, money moves. You swipe a card, payment done. You never touch real money anymore. We think we made money better, and in some ways we did. But digital money is just an agreement. Everyone agrees these numbers mean something. And when everyone believes it, everything works great. Your paycheck arrives, your bills get paid, life is good. Until something breaks. Because digital money is really just a stack of promises. The bank promises you can take your money out. The government promises your dollars will buy stuff tomorrow. The internet promises to stay on. The system promises to let you in. When everything's normal, these promises feel solid as rock. But here's the scary part. Digital systems don't break slowly, they break fast. One cyber attack, one banking crisis, one new law, one frozen account, and boom, the money you thought was yours becomes money you can't touch. You could have $50,000 in your account and not be able to buy a coffee. This is where gold comes in. Here's something that doesn't make sense at first. In 2024, the world's central banks bought over 1,000 tons of gold. That's 3 years in a row they bought this much. Before 2021, they usually bought about 473 tons per year. Now it's more than double that. Today, central banks own about 37,755 tons of gold. In 2025, gold became worth more than US Treasury bonds in central bank reserves. Think about that. These banks have the smartest money people on earth working for them. They can invest in anything. So why are they buying gold like crazy? Gold doesn't make products, pay you interest, send you dividends, work on an app. A recent survey asked 73 central banks about gold. Here's what they said. 95% think gold reserves will go up next year. 43% plan to buy more gold themselves. 0 plan to sell gold. Why? They said, gold protects them during bad times. Gold keeps value when other things fail. Gold protects against war and chaos. Gold protects if other countries put sanctions on them. Poland bought 102 tons in 2025. Their leader said they want 700 tons for national security. China officially bought 27 tons, but experts think they secretly own over 5,000 tons, more than twice what they admit. India bought 72 tons and brought 100 tons back home from London banks for the first time since 1991. These aren't dumb decisions. These are smart people protecting their countries. They know something important. Gold isn't an investment. Gold is insurance. Here's a scary fact. Thousands of different money types have existed in human history. Most of them are dead, not weak, not changed, dead. Let me tell you some horror stories. Germany, 1923. After World War I, Germany had to pay other countries back. So they printed tons of money. Soon, 4.2 trillion marks equaled $1. Prices doubled every 3.7 days. People's life savings couldn't buy bread. Hungary, 1946, the worst money disaster ever. Prices went up 150,000% every day. Not every month, every day. The government printed a bill worth 1 trillion. That's 21 zeros. Money became toilet paper. Zimbabwe, 2008. Inflation hit 79.6 billion%. Prices doubled every 24 hours. They printed $100 trillion bills. People stopped using their money and switched to US dollars. Venezuela, 2018. Inflation passed 1 million%. The money became worthless. People fled the country. Those who stayed used foreign money or traded stuff. The pattern is always the same. Government faces a crisis. Government can't collect taxes. Government prints money to pay bills. Money loses value. People panic. Money dies. And what do people grab when money dies? Gold, silver, real stuff. Anything that doesn't need the government's promise. Here's what's weird about our modern world. You'd think digital money would kill gold, but the opposite happened. Digital money made gold more important. Here's why. Digital systems break differently than physical things. A car brakes slowly. You hear weird sounds. You see problems coming. You can prepare. But digital systems, they break in an instant. Think about what digital money really means. Your money only exists if you can log in. You pass security. You follow the rules. The system likes you. Everything stays on. Break one of those, and your money disappears. Gold is the opposite. Gold works without logging in, getting permission, asking anyone, internet connection, electricity. It's not easy to use. That's the point. Gold wasn't made for buying coffee. Gold was made to survive disasters. Watch what happens when things get scary. Market crashes. Gold is in the news. Prices go up. People talk about gold. Wars start. Gold becomes important. Money gets weak. Gold gets strong. Not because gold changes, because people do. When life is good, people want to make money fast. When life is scary, people want to keep what they have. Let me tell you what gold really is. Gold isn't about the future. Gold is about surviving the future. Here's what makes gold different. You don't have to believe in it for it to work. No company owns it. No computer runs it. No app controls it. No one can shut it off. Gold only asks you to trust one thing: physics. Is gold perfect? No. It's heavy, hard to move, can be stolen, pain to store, can't buy groceries with it. But that's what makes it strong. Think of it like this. You lock your door at night, right? Even though nothing bad happens most nights. You don't lock your door for the safe nights. You lock it for the one night something goes wrong. Gold is the same thing for your money. And there's something else about gold that matters. Gold is quiet. No news headlines about gold CEOs. No scandals. No updates needed. No hype. It just sits there. And in a world where everything changes every second, that silence is powerful. The more digital money becomes, the more people admit we need something that isn't digital, not because gold is magic, because gold doesn't need promises to work. So why does gold still matter today? Simple answer: because we're still human. We still need food, safety, stability, protection. The real crisis isn't when stocks go down a little. The real crisis is when people stop trusting the system. And when that happens, and history shows it will happen, humans always do the same things. They get simpler, they take less risk, they grab things they can touch. Even the people who love digital money and cashless societies quietly buy gold, because they know systems can break. Gold is the oldest backup plan in history. It's what you hold when you don't want everything you own to depend on computers, banks, and governments all working perfectly. If everything changes tomorrow, gold will still be gold. And that's why it matters.